wait on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer. That's my mom's name. I create and find change. My mind frame ensures that forever I reign. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Let's go now. Got left, got left.
Play action. It's Smith. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
19 Tiger. Back to 60. Back to 60.
Now Gino. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Lance. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Finding Walker complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
18 Cardinals.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Catch is made. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The Lance going to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form, and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation.
And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. Some motivation this week, not an issue.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Ready. Six.
On first down, Lance. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down. The Niners at 7-3 now on the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Lance getting this out wide to Ayuk. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. To throw, it's Lance. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6-0 our score after one.
Here we go.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Lance looking to throw it. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Lance. Got his target, Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Lance now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now Gino on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Smith on 1st down. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Noah Fant, 31 yards. And the Seahawks have retaken the lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lance flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Uchenna Nwosu, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go now.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Geno down to throw. And this one too low.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Smith. Good one, able to haul it in. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 23. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith eluding the pressure right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try for the 1st with Walker. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Myers' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Here we go. Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead into the locker room. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. A short kick taken at the 18.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Okay, break.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. 1 second, all that remains. This one into the hands of Metcalf. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Now a play fake. Lance. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there. A big one. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now. 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 109 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lance. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Let's go, Lee. Drop 50.
Now Gino. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 31, Smith. This is the tight end fan. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Walker diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that gives him a 3-point lead. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Lance again here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Throwing now is Lance.
Completes it to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Lance to throw it. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On 1st and 10, Smith.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's got a man, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 40. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And Smith's throw into the hands of Fant.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out.
When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. Myers' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here we go.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Lance.
And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Green Jack. Drill green. 6. Leather. Ready.
From the gun, it's Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Lance. On a huge mistake late. It's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, moving a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
19 tight, 19 tight. Set me Ranger, 19 wide. Check contact. Buffalo 18.
Now Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3-and-out.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And fortunately, the offense will cover this one up back at the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now Lance. Finding Samuel. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Lance. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Lance back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it. And that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Showed a good move, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Nasir Adderley that time making the tackle. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the victory here for Seattle. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now, let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.